I was naked in a stranger's bed at 2 a.m., tangled up in sheets and adrenaline, when my phone buzzed with a message from my husband. "We need to talk. Now." My heart stopped. I left my lover asleep, threw on last night's clothes, and drove home in a panic, rehearsing my confession over and over. For months, I'd been caught up in the kind of affair that makes you forget you ever loved anyone else. Late-night meetings, whispered promises, the thrill of getting away with it. But the guilt was eating me alive, and tonight I'd finally decided to come clean. I walked through our front door, expecting a fight, maybe tears. Instead, he was waiting in the living room with a manila envelope on the coffee table. His face was calm, almost bored. "I know," he said, sliding the papers toward me. "Sign these." I stared at the word divorce stamped across the page, my mouth dry. He didn't yell, didn't ask any questions. I wanted him to scream, to demand answers, to care. But he just looked at me like I was a stranger who'd wandered into his house. I asked him how long he'd known, but he just shrugged and said, "Long enough." I pressed for details, desperate for a fight, for some release. That's when he dropped the real bomb. He'd been cheating too with someone I knew, someone close. The room spun as I realized just how deep the betrayals ran, how perfectly we'd both played our parts in the destruction of our marriage. There was no screaming, just the cold truth laid bare between us. Two liars, two cheaters, too tired to even pretend anymore. I signed the papers with a shaking hand, numb and hollow. He left without looking back. Alone on the couch, I let the weight of everything I'd lost settle in. The affair was never about love or excitement. It was about trying to fill an emptiness I couldn't name. Now, with nothing left to hide, I stared into the void I'd been running from, realizing the biggest betrayal had been against myself all along.